welcome back if you're a current subscriber or have seen my previous videos before. But if you're new here, my name is Adriana. I am a certified personal trainer, and here on my YouTube channel I talk about PCOS. I show you some of my favorite recipes and how I cook them, and I do at home and gym workouts because obviously I'm a personal trainer. Yeah. But today our video is part of the Talking PCOS series, and today's topic we're going to go over the glycemic index. Now, it gets brought up quite often when it comes around PCOS and the dietary choices you make and dieting. So you may or may have not heard of it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. What does it have to do with PCOS and what exactly is it? So the glycemic index, or known as GI, so you may have seen an abbreviation for GI somewhere. It is a tool that is used to measure how much a specific food increases your blood sugar levels. So what does that have to do with PCOS? Well, one of the symptoms of PCOS is insulin resistance, which has to do with our blood sugar levels. So insulin resistance, we're going to do a quick recap here if you haven't seen my previous videos or you don't know what insulin resistance is. But insulin resistance is when your body's cells are not able to absorb the glucose or the blood sugar, causing your pancreas to compensate by producing even more insulin. This can lead to diabetes. Too high insulin levels can cause you to produce more androgens, aka your male hormones or testosterone. So insulin resistance can also be linked to having a higher BMI and making it difficult to lose or manage weight. So the glycemic index helps us understand which certain foods affect the quick rise of our blood sugar levels and which ones will help raise them slowly. But that is just the start of it. Foods on a glycemic index are classified as low, medium, or high on a scale of 1 to 100. So low being 0 to 55, medium is 56 to 69, and the high is from 70 to 100. There are certain foods that aren't on the glycemic index, such as meat, fish, nuts, herbs, and like oils, because they have no carbs. And since they have no carbs, they have no effect on our blood sugar levels, or at least on our blood sugar specifically. But foods that measure higher on the GI are absorbed faster and raise our blood sugar levels faster. These foods tend to be more often than not high in carbs and sugar, and also refined and processed, but this is not the case for all the foods that land up on the higher spectrum of the higher scale of the glycemic index. There are certain foods that aren't processed and refined that are also high. So we're going to get into some of them. Again, foods that score between 70 to 100 are high on the glycemic index. So some examples would be chips, mashed potatoes, French fries, kids' yogurts, sweetened yogurts, white bread, and like I mentioned earlier, there are some foods that land up on the high scale of the glycemic index that aren't processed, and one of those foods would be watermelon. So watermelon causes our blood sugar levels to raise fast. So then now we're going into the next one, which is on a medium score of the glycemic index or medium scale. So that would be the foods that fall between 56 to 69. So these would be steel-cut oats, multigrain breads, sweet corn, sweet potatoes, cashews, brown rice, beets, and carrots. Foods that rank low on the glycemic index, so they score 55 or less. So we apples, cranberries, chickpeas, lentils, snow peas, asparagus, broccoli, tomato, cauliflower, eggplant, zucchini, barley, wild rice, almonds, turnips, pecans, low-fat or plain Greek yogurt. I feel like I'm dancing, like making a song saying these. So low-fat or plain Greek yogurt, almond milk or skim milk. So these are foods that land that score low on the glycemic index scale. But it is important to keep in mind that there are multiple factors that can influence how fast food can be broken down into the blood sugar and where they land on the glycemic index. This is why fruit yogurt is scored higher than plain Greek yogurt. As I mentioned earlier, that kids yogurt and that sweetened yogurt was scored high, 70 or above, but plain yogurt is on the low spectrum. Anyways, These are some of the factors that could influence what makes a food score on the glycemic index. So it's like how refined the carb is, the chemical structure of the food, how the food is prepared and cooked, how the food is paired with other foods, the ratio of protein, fat, and carbs that is in the food. So those are some of the things. But this is where we get into the glycemic load. Bum, 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 bum. So this is another part that goes into the glycemic index. So the glycemic load factors in the amount of carbs in the serving of a food to determine how it affects our blood sugar levels. It's meant to help correct the glycemic index by combining the portion size and the glycemic index into one number. So a food that may land up high in the glycemic index may actually carry an overall low glycemic load. So the values of glycemic load are: low is 10 to 0, my bad. Medium is 11 to 19, and high is 20 or more. So to calculate the glycemic load, you'll use the following formula. The glycemic index multiplied, the number of the glycemic index multiplied by the amount of carbs in the food divided by 100. So for example, we're going to take that watermelon. So watermelon scores 80 on the glycemic index. And let's say a serving of a watermelon has 21 carbs. So what we're going to do is multiply 80 by 21, which is going to be 1,680. Then we're going to take 1,680 divided by 100, and it's going to be now 16.8. So the watermelon scores 16.8, making it fall into a medium range of the glycemic load. So the glycemic index and the glycemic load are just helpful tools to help assist when you're choosing foods that are part of your dietary choice. They're part of your diet and your dietary choices, but it should not be a sole decider on whether you're going to eat a food or not, or how you plan your meals. Just use it as a guideline to make better food choices. Again, for example, take the whole grain bread over the white bread. Something like that. And I'd just like to remind you to always speak to your doctor or registered dietitian in regards to your individual health and your diet. This video is to help you have a better understanding of what the glycemic index is and what the glycemic load is, since it does come up quite often in topics around PCOS and dieting and making dietary changes or dietary choices and in managing your lifestyle. So with that being said, we have covered quite a bit today, and I'd love to know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Have you heard of the glycemic index before? Do you know what a glycemic load is? Was this video helpful? Did you learn something new? Or maybe you already knew this before, or you did not understand anything that I was saying. I'd like to know your thoughts below, so drop that comment below. And also, if you haven't already, and if you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and give that a thumbs up. It really helps push the video out to the audience so more people could see it, and it helps me grow as a channel. It is a complete free way to support me, and also hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. I do post weekly, and again, I post about PCOS, I post cooking, and I post workout videos. And I will be having another workout video coming out very soon. It's a hybrid workout, so you could do it either at the gym or you could do it at home, and all you need is a kettlebell. So keep an eye on that. One's going to be out within the next week or so. But again, thank you for watching my video. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you at the next one.